And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Oh dear.
Okay, so we've got quite a lot to get through in today's video, but we're going to start with Elon Musk's salute. So for those of you who don't know, Elon Musk was perceived to have made a Nazi salute at Donald Trump's inauguration rally. And of course, everyone except me, began to lose their minds over it.
Just to be clear,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
you're defending a Heil Hitler salute that was performed and repeated for emphasis and clarity.
Oh, am I? Is that what I'm doing, eh? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Or as Gad said calls you.
Dear Occasional Cortex.
Oh! Gad sat there, one of my favourite people.
The best guy around.
Now, I'm just going to come right out and say I don't think it was a Nazi salute. I think, in fact, what we saw is that Elon Musk is a bit of he was spazzing out. I am going to try to prove in the first segment of today's video that Elon Musk is, in fact, severely vaccine injured. So we've got that, we've got the crazy lesbo bishop attacking Donald Trump at the Washington inaugural prayer yesterday. So we've got lots of fun things to get through, as I said, so let's get into the show.
Who's Daniel Boland? Oh, Daniel Boland, this is a heavy hitter. Do you guys know who this is?
So, first of all, as I said, let's just get this whole salute thing done and dusted, because I really can't be bothered with this. Yes, it looked like a Nazi salute. No, obviously it was not a Nazi salute, because that would be crazy. For two reasons, really. One, Elon Musk is not a Nazi, of course. And two, if he were a Nazi, I think the last thing he would do would be to get on stage at the president's inauguration and do a Nazi salute. You cretins. I'm not going to waste my time laboriously going through the bleedingly obvious to people who just don't want to hear it. But it's very clear to me that Elon was just a bit hyper because he was pumped up for the inauguration, and he is very socially awkward. His hand gestures and facial expressions have always been a bit off. So I think I would just say to anyone who thinks he is literally a Nazi and just literally did a Heil Hitler on stage, you people, there's no point in talking to you, is there? You're not living in the real world. You're either deranged, or you've got a problem where your whole persona is your political identity, okay? Those are the two options, you know? I can't be wrong. That's not a third option.
They are set to benefit on an unprecedented scale from the fact that everybody else thinks the unfairness in our society is all the fault of foreigners.
Ooh, James O'Brien there with a hot take on the tech bro oligarchy that's arising in the US.
You got Musk, Zuckerberg and Bezos sitting around talking about how much richer they think they're going to get under Donald Trump.
I'm not sure if I have the strength to put up with another 4 years of these gaslighting, patronizing, faux compassionate takes from people of the blotchy, fat ilk of James O'Brien.
And they are sitting there now absolutely laughing at the fact that you think immigrants are the problem.
Yes, that's right.
Stay calm. People like James O'Brien,
They blame the immigrants, and then Elon Musk goes, I'm actually an immigrant. And they laugh even more.
people like James O'Brien.
And then Jeff Bezos goes, yeah, so is my dad. He's from Cuba. And they laugh even more.
Gaslighting the plebs into basically feeling like if they see that prices are too high or that illegal immigration is out of control, they're Nazis. They're basically Nazis, actually. Are they? Or is it perhaps the case, I'm just throwing this out there, that a lot of you bleeding heart, champagne socialist, gobshites, unremarkable, uninteresting, would-be supply teachers like you, James O'Brien, is it possible that perhaps you've just taken that, that axe you've always had in your heart, that you've always wanted to grind? That burning envy you've always had in the pit of your stomach since your teenage years for anyone who was more talented and successful and more popular than you? Have you taken those and learned how to monetize them? Under the guise of compassion, you've taken the absolute disdain of the suburbanite lovies towards the working class, and you've confirmed all their biases for them. Yeah, all those disgusting, unwashed, they're just a bunch of racist idiots.
Dear Occasional Cortex, I spent several hours at Elon's house, and he knows that I'm Jewish, and I survived the ordeal.
So there you have it. If Gad Sad thinks that Elon Musk is A-OK, then so do I, all right? And for those of you who are worried about the Trump administration's more outlandish things that they're talking about, taking Greenland, for example, in my opinion, really, I think those Eskimos could use some freedom. But, that's just my personal take. I won't be making any demands. That's for the fine people of Greenland to decide, of course. And then of course, there's the Panama Canal thing.
Yo, what's this? Oh dear, how did that get in here?
Oh dear, AOC. Look, what I'm saying is basically, I think you need to calm down a bit. You need to wait till actually something bad does happen. You can't just, on the day of the inauguration, start screaming fascist at everyone. Just because, Elon Musk had a bit of an autistic outburst. It's going to be a very long, tedious 4 years for people like that. And I don't just mean the mush heads who are actually scared of the Trump administration. I mean the personalityless husks like AOC. I'm worried about you guys too. Sure, you're like the boy who cried wolf. You're screaming fascist at the top of your lungs on day one. But how long can you keep that up? How long before some kind of intervention is needed? You're going to get yourself sectioned. They're going to find you, daubing the walls of your apartment with your own feces. I'm connecting the dots. You ain't connecting no dots. You shat in your hand, Alexandria.
Anyway, in another episode of incredible emotional incontinence that has been lauded by retards everywhere, Episcopal Bishop Mariann Budde,
Buddies.
Whatever her name is, this clown made an absolute fool of herself and a mockery of the inaugural prayer service at the Washington National Cathedral yesterday.
Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, are there? Well, why didn't you say so?
There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives.
That is so gay.
And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants.
Oh, my skin is crawling. When, people who are so they affect this this softly spoken, enunciated speech where they pronounce every syllable, making sure that you're there to listen to each and every word. You should be hanging on my next syllable. Hopefully, the meatpacking plant. You know. And also, isn't it so patronising the way she's talking about these immigrants? I thought they were our doctors and lawyers!
If you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilets, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that, you know what I mean? Like,
Who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals. They may not be citizens or have the proper documentation.
It's fascinating to me how insane people's minds work, because I'll bet you anything that this priestess would love regulation in almost every other walk of life except for immigration for some reason. No need to check any documents of the people pouring into our country. Hell no. Why don't you want to deregulate everything else then? You know, what's all this I've been hearing about bachelor's degrees and medical school and 3 to 7 years of internal medicine in, learning your speciality? Why can't we let the market decide? You know, if my barbershop has got access to a jar of leeches and a meat cleaver, why can't he cut me open?
But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals.
No one died.
They pay taxes and are good neighbors.
Mama's apple pie, the 4th of July. She was a hooker!
They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples.
God willing, Trump and his administration show some mercy, okay, and they allow these illegal migrants to continue evading and breaking the law, because we all know they're just trying to go about their day, keeping themselves to themselves, worshipping their many gods in their local temples that they all go to. Because, as you know, the vast majority of illegal migration is coming from ancient Greece, I guess. Look, the next time one of you are a resident in, I don't know, Chicago or LA, one of those, metropole, one of those urban hellscapes in the USA, the next time you hear the distant jingling of gunshots in your neighborhood, because the Latin Kings have taken over every street corner, remember that is a small price to pay for all of the busy bee meat packers that these big companies have got working for them on the cheap. All right? Swings and roundabouts.
I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land.
Some of us still are pretty strange, eh, sweet cheeks? I don't know if you're getting the same vibe as me, as I am, watching this lady priestess here. But this holier than thou, no pun intended, holier than thou, patronizing, lip smacking, enunciating shit. It really, I don't know what it is about it. It's something that really gets my goat. You know, it really, turns my stomach.
May God grant us the strength and courage to honor the dignity of every human being, to speak the truth to one another in love, and walk humbly with each other and our God for the good of all people in this nation and the world.
Oh, well, I guess that concludes the inaugural prayer. The High Priestess Budde has nodded off there. She prefers to sleep that way, upright, you know, like some kind of bipedal ungulate or bovid. Yeah. Oh, hang on. What's that? Well, that was Oscar-worthy there from Priest Buddy. Okay, I don't have anything more to say in today's video. We've got loads more stuff that I'm not covering, so I'll be back with something tomorrow or very shortly. If you've enjoyed the video, give the video a like to let the algorithm know, the universe know what a great time you've had. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and let me know what you thought in the comments if you want to get some access to some exclusive videos, which I'll be making a lot more of very soon, I promise. And if you want to help out with the channel further, you can check my Patreon out. The link is in the description. And what else? I'll leave you with the outro video. I'll see you in the next one.